All right, intermission. So I said last time I'd go over some command line tips, and thinking I might do this in some of the lectures just to break them up and give you some, I don't know, some tips whenever you're working on your projects and stuff. So I want to talk about some tips on working on the command line. You know, the command line, whenever you start working at first in a terminal or something like that, can be very disorienting. It's very different than anything you're used to, but it gets more comfortable over time. And like, these are things that I wish somebody would have told me whenever I first started, because these keyboard shortcuts make everything a lot smoother and nicer to work with. So the first thing is tab completion, right? So we've said that before. This works in Jupyter as well, you know, or in your IDE. When you're typing something, just spam tab and get it to complete. You don't have to type out full word. If you're using a command, like for instance git, and you want some help, most help is built in. So let me go to a terminal here. Okay, so I can say like git, and I can ask for help, and it gives me a bunch of help. Okay, so it tells me all the commands I can use and so forth. Pretty much every command does this. There's also man, which stands for manual, so I can say man git, and it gives me a manual in the terminal. Okay, what else did we have? Oh, fish. So you know, if you open up your terminal on DataHub, or if you have a MacBook and you just open up the terminal on a Mac, you're running the, actually Mac I think is ZSH, but you're probably running bash shell. This is what bash looks like. Okay, it's, you know, it's kind of boring, you know. I would recommend installing what's called the fish shell. So fish, F-I-S-H. Okay. One of the advantages of the fish shell is that it has much better tab completion. It also has much nicer colors and syntax highlighting and stuff like that. So for instance, one of the features of fish is if I just start typing git, you see it wants to complete the last time I used git. Let's say git clone. Hey, look, I can clone the DSC 80 repository. Right. Okay. All right, keyboard shortcuts. Whoops. All right, if I want to move to the beginning of a line, I can do Control A. To the end of the line, Control E. If I want to move back, it's actually Alt B. I can move back by one word. Okay, I actually remapped that to Alt left. Okay. Suppose I didn't want to clone the DSC 80 repo. I wanted to clone the DSC 40B repo. Control W deletes a word. So saves you a lot of time. Right? Oh, let's see. Up. Oh, this one's huge. Hit up, and it goes back. Previous commands, right? So suppose I list. If I want to do that again, hit up. Don't retype. If you know, I see people doing this. They're like, and they make a typo, and they run this, right? And then like, oh no, I got to redo this all again. You know, don't do that. Just do this. Whoops. You know, hit up. Hit up. Say this is what comes in here, and then use your keyboard shortcuts to move back. Okay. These keyboard shortcuts, by the way, work not only in the terminal, but they work in a lot of other places. For instance, Jupyter notebooks use a lot of these, or the Python shell. What was else? Control R. So Control R is like up on steroids. So you can be like, I cloned a Git repository sometime in the past, but I don't remember what it was called. Type Git and then hit Control R, and it searches your entire command history for a previous Git command. So I can type in clone, and then there are a bunch of Git repositories that I've cloned before. Okay, and the last one was open. So let's see, do I have a, I don't have a great data set or a great file in here. Well, point is open. If you run open in a terminal, and suppose I have like a PDF in this directory, as I open that PDF, it'll open in your PDF view. Right? So open is like open this file. All right. All right. So I think that's all the tips I had. Any questions on those? Okay. So yeah, I'll kind of do that in a few of the lectures. I figure like what did I have? I don't know, maybe like Vim, using Vim. Or not using it, but just knowing why it's useful. Yeah, some command line tools like XSV. It allows you to work with the CSV file in the command line. Okay. So, we've seen how to run hypothesis tests. Hypothesis tests help